Kenny Omega has proven to be a real one. He's been playing video games on his Twitch channel and just openly talking about a lot of stuff that I didn't expect, including him saying, I shouldn't be an EVP. I'm not a good EVP. I'm a terrible EVP. I don't have any power. I'm just, I should just, I don't belong as an EVP. I thought him just sort of falling on his sword like that and saying, hey guys, I'm a wrestler. I thought was really, really interesting. And he also said, in talking about the silliness that CM Punk brought up of his dog Larry and the whole brawl out thing, he made some sort of tongue in cheek reference, he being Kenny, to saying it was his job as EVP to keep Larry the dog safe out of brawl out. But he was also sort of defending fighting in locker rooms, saying that, hey, this is common. These are professional athletes in a professional sports and competitive spaces. People, this sort of thing happens. I was really impressed to see Kenny Omega come out and say that. And I know we want to send him our best wishes. It looks like he's going to have surgery on the diverticulitis after all. Said he's feeling pretty good, but it's still pretty sensitive to this touch. And if he were to take a major blow to the stomach, it could be a really bad circumstance and situation.
Hey, can I interject just for a second?
Yeah.
To that point, you remember my incident about a year ago or whatever it was?
Yes.
Where I ended up in a hospital, almost died twice, had to get life flighted to a hospital where they had my blood type because my local hospital ran out and I was crashing. I didn't have diverticulitis, but I had something very similar. Now mine was self-inflicted. It wasn't because of all the fiber. I overdosed on fiber, basically, is what I did. But that diverticulitis is serious shit. Probably shouldn't use that term. It is a very, very serious condition. So I can relate in a way. I can relate to what Kenny Omega is going through and the surgery that he's contemplating. It's not pretty and it's not going to be a pleasant thing. So much empathy towards Kenny Omega. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I didn't mean
No, go ahead.
I just want people to understand how serious diverticulitis is.
Chat me up. What did you think about Kenny's comments about he's cool with CM Punk? He never wasn't cool with CM Punk. He sort of made fun and said, hey, it's my job to keep that dog safe. I'm an EVP. And, listen, fighting in the locker rooms, it happens in sports. What say you, Eric?
It's the most honest adult thing I've heard out of AEW in months. And it adds to his credibility and his character and respect because he's being honest. And he had fun doing it in the process. And the fact that saving a dog, in my opinion, puts him very high on my list of people that I want to meet and say hello to. I get it. But in all of the commentary and the reactions, and even Tony Schiavone, and I love Tony. He's a great dude. We're friends. But that was Kenny Omega's comments were the most adult comments I've heard anybody in AEW say publicly in a long time. Good on him.
Yeah, I thought the same. I thought, man, what an honest answer. And well, let's talk about a few more pieces of AEW business. We'll do some questions, and then we'll get to why everybody's here. We're going to talk about the Brawl Out Fallout, or the All Out. We'll get it right. The Wembley Fallout with Jungle Boy. Mercedes Mone went on social media last week and promoted herself as appearing on Dynamite. Of course, she never actually appeared in front of the live crowd. It was a taped promo. And in that promo, the backstage segment, as it was revealed that she's not going to be wrestling this weekend at the AEW Dynasty show. I think a lot of people were still thinking, well, they'll add her a match in there. And it's not happening. They're going to instead wait and have her make her first match be at Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. Did you think some people were saying online that may have been a bait and switch to say that she'll be appearing on the show? She did technically appear on the show. She just wasn't in front of fans. And I'm kind of shocked that she's not wrestling on pay-per-view this weekend. What did you think of the announcement? Did you consider that a bait and switch? And would you have had her wrestle before the May pay-per-view?
I wouldn't have had her wrestle before the May pay-per-view. I would have actually tried to build her up in a way to make her interesting and compelling. Right now, I predicted. I was asked. It's not that I came out and started throwing my shit around just hoping that somebody would be interested. I was asked the question months and months and months ago. Do you think Mercedes Mone will have any impact in AEW? And without even taking a deep enough breath to express the one syllable answer to that, it was no. It was, she's not, she hasn't, and she won't. And that's self-inflicted. It has nothing to do with her potential or what she's capable of as a talent. It's the environment she's in. It is dysfunctionally creative. It is dysfunctional creatively. There is a lack of vision. It's just impossible for anybody to show up and have an impact or move the needle or change the game or whatever euphemism you want to use, or metaphor, whatever the fuck it is. At this point, it doesn't matter. They can do anything they want to do with her, and it's not going to matter. It's over. They blew it. She's just going to be, what is it? What's Paige's name? Saraya?
Yep.
Oh, that was going to be a big thing. Oh, the women's division is going to be, this is it. Game changer. Really? What have we seen so far? Absolutely nothing. 2 months from now, you'll be looking at the same scenario for Mercedes. Not because of her. Or maybe she's part of it. She could be part of the problem. But the real problem is there is just no fundamental understanding of how to build a wrestling company for television in this country at AEW. If there is, they're hiding. They're in the witness protection program.
Let me ask you, did you see after last week's television, it was last week's Wednesday show. I think it was Wednesday. Perhaps it was Saturday night, but there was a moment where Tony came out and addressed the live crowd, and people started saying he was having a meltdown. I didn't perceive that to be a meltdown. Do you think at this point, just the name Tony Khan becomes Pavlovian to a certain section of fans online?
No, Tony shoots himself in the foot every time he opens his mouth. He's building the brand. Every time, he's still doing it. He's still living in this fantasy where he thinks he's in some 2024 version of the Monday Night Wars. Dude, you're not. First of all, it's not a war. You're not competing in any meaningful way outside of whatever you think you're competing with in your head. It's a fantasy. And it's just Tony. I don't know how else to say it. If he hasn't learned by now that coming out and punching so far above his weight is going to backfire, he's never going to learn. He just won't.